as they go onto the sizing lap. On pole position, it will be Matej Radenkovic from Belgium under the Bubin Power stable that will have Dams Racing Team's very own Thomas Strauven alongside. Nando Weichselbaumer from Austria and Rino Franco from the Netherlands in the number 111 for GKS Levens Power will comprise row 2. Kasper Schormans from SP Motorsport in the 140 will line up alongside Belgium's Karel Stout from PG Motorsport in the 143. Tam Saleh and Thiemen Huben will round out the top 8 positions. Ahead of Laurens Herboz, Olivier Jonkers, Jasper Leenerts, Mick van den Berg and Mathies Soubadou. The drivers, there were 2 drivers that were actually found to have front-fairing penalties post-race, one of which was Olivier Jonkers and the other one was Jasper Leenerts, which added an additional 5 seconds to time penalty to their race. So dropping them down the order. They were in the battle for around about 6th, 7th position. So now we head into battle one last time as Minimax will have 13 minutes of action to hopefully captivate us, excite us, and also at the same time provide some great racing action nevertheless. So, Radenkovic, Strauven, Weichselbaumer, Franco, Schormans, Stout, Saleh, Huben, Herbots and Jonkers. That is your top 10. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, they are keeping us waiting. We are on tenterhooks. The hairs standing up on the back of our necks at the moment as we anticipate a good start this time around. The red lights are on the starting gantry for the final time for Minimax here at the opening round of the 2020 BNL Karting Series season. They make their way through into turn 12. Out of the corner they come. They split into the respective tram lines. Ladies and gentlemen, Minimax is off and away. We head to turn 1. Great start by Radenkovic. Strauven around to the outside, but looks like Weichselbaumer trying to go up into 2nd position. Strauven uses the runoff to get back up the inside of Weichselbaumer. Kasper Schormans, I think, is trying to push for at least 2nd place. Rino Franco clearly in the mix. All 13 drivers now having made their way through into turn 6. Onto the back straight. 2 by 2, round about the halfway point downwards a couple of times there. Going side by side down the back straightaway. Into turn 8 for the first time. Radenkovic leads. Strauven 2nd. Schormans looks to be in 3rd place ahead of Franco. Weichselbaumer, Jasper Leenerts definitely clearly getting the elbows out there and manages to make up a position. Looks to be past Thiemen Huben in the one. Well, that's probably Laurens Herboz as Thiemen Huben up past the pair of them at the minute and gapping them a little bit. And again, Huben and Leenerts going side by side into turns 1 and 2. Move but trying to be happening here by Karel Stout, who's up into P6. Can't get past Nando Weichselbaumer from Austria, but he's going to hustle him through turns 4. Into the left at 5. Up to the right at 6. Onto the back straight. Now is the entire field, all 13 carts, rounded off by Francis Mathies Soubadou. So all 13 drivers still circulating at the moment. Strauven really sensing an opportunity to get one up on Matej Radenkovic. But they're going to have to watch their back bumper because until now, Kasper Schormans has had a bit of a, I wouldn't say lackluster, but a bit of a disappointing in his terms performance this weekend. Kasper Schormans has got pure pace. He was at the I think he was, if memory serves me correctly, he's been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. And he's with the SP Motorsport squad as Rino Franco trying to go up the inside. Schormans shuts the door. Nice and firmly there. Up the inside goes Olivier Jonkers up the inside of Tam Saleh, who ends up going on the runoff area. Runs wide out of turn 3. Jonkers up the inside. 2 GKS carts behind in the form of Huben and Leenerts. Radenkovic battling away with Strauven. Schormans battling with Franco and Weichselbaumer for P3. There's the number 142 of Mathis Soubadou from France. Still circulating. So we are approaching the completion of the first 3 minutes of this race. 13 minutes in total, plus an additional lap to see out Minimax. So across the start-finish line to complete lap number 3. Matej Radenkovic has been leading proceedings so far as Franco goes up the inside of Schurmans into turn 2. Makes the move stick. Weichselbaumer just behind, as is Belgium's Karel Stout. Olivier Jonkers leading the train behind. Ahead of Tam Saleh, Thiemen Huben, who nearly went side by side with Jasper Leenerts. Leenerts rounds out the top 10. Herboz, Vandenberg and Soubadou. And you can just see Leenerts up the inside again. And it's side by side between Saleh and Jonkers. Jonkers to the inside, Saleh to the outside. Leenerts gets past Huben for position. So Jonkers up into what is effectively P7 on the road, a little bit further up the order. Strauven getting racy now. 9 minutes and 10 on the clock. Radenkovic senses that Strauven has been close pretty much since the beginning of the race, and these two started on the front row, let's not forget. As now there is a move, well, there was an attempted move by Rino Franco up the inside of Kasper Schurmans, and Kasper Schurmans now is down in 4th position. Weichselbaumer was the one that was trying to get up the inside of the Dutch driver, as now Leenerts trying to go up the inside of Tam Saleh and makes the move stick. Oh, that's a great move by Jasper Leenerts through into turn 4. Milan Koppens, senior road tax, 344 to the stewards immediately. Milan Koppens, senior road tax, 344 to the stewards immediately, please. Thank you. Meanwhile, Olivier Jonkers will quickly find that he will be battling away with Jasper Leenerts once again, as we found out in the pre-final a bit earlier on this afternoon. Five minutes down, 8 to go, plus a lap. A tenth of a second exactly is the lead that Matej Radenkovic had over Thomas Strauven on that last lap. Oh, Strauven towards the outside going into the approach onto turn 3, looking to try and make the switch back. Can't get through as a little bit further back down the order. Once again, the drive is still pushing as hard as possible as Weichselbaumer sends it up the inside of Schurmans, runs wide through turn 6, and Schurmans pounces back up the inside. Now, for those wondering, when the drivers are lifting up the flap on the top of the radiator there on the engine, it's allowing a bit more airflow in. So that's really all the adjustment that they have, just to get a bit more fresh air into the Rotax Max Evo engine. 125 cc's of cubic displacement for every single racing engine that comes out of Rotax in Austria. But Strauven looks even racier. He's right on the back bumper, bump drafting on Radenkovic into turns 1 and 2. As up the inside goes Weichselbaumer on Schurmans. This time, I think the Austrian's got it. He has. He shut the door on the Dutch driver through into turn 3 on the exit of the corner. Leenerts, in the meantime, I think has just got past Jonkers for P7. Another great bit of work there. But let's not forget that Jonkers and Leenerts did have front fairing penalties post the pre-final. So they've got to really watch what they are doing. There's only so much abuse of front fairing will take before it comes out of position. But Strauven still keeping in proximity with Rino Franco. Well, with Matej Radenkovic. Franco now is about 0.8 of a second behind the two at the front, who was separated by 61 thousandths of a second last time around. This time looks to be a little bit more. It's increased by 1.2 tenths of a second. And Radenkovic in the process has set the fastest lap of this race. .59.730. The top 4 drivers have gone and broken the sub 60 second bracket. So Strauven has done a 59.853, a 59.945 for Rino Franco, and Nando Weichselbaumer from Austria has just done a 59.850, and that was on the last lap. Now about to complete lap number 8 very, very shortly, as the leaders now will come through the right-hand sweeper at turn 10, into the left at 11, now into the right at 12. Eight laps now completed, and Radenkovic and Strauven are now pretty much a tenth and a half of a second adrift of each other. But Strauven closes up in the braking zone, through into turn number 2, into 3, into 4, into the left at 5, getting closer and closer, going into turn 6. Nothing quite yet for the Dams Racing driver. Into turn 7. As Franco now has Weichselbaumer for company. Fifth place, Kasper Schaumanns. Karol Stau doing a lot better this time around as well. P6 at the moment. That's exactly where he qualified, because the grid was decided following the results of the pre-final. So the pre-final dictates the results of that when it's confirmed and ratified. Will then be the official result and the grid for the following race for the final. Getting into the last bit of the business end of this race. And now you can just see Olivier Jonkers trying to go up the inside of Jasper Lane. It's through turn 7. The Dams Racing team driver makes the move in the 116, past the 177. Both drivers representing Belgium in terms of nationality. Strauven again getting closer and closer to Radenkovic. They're going to come through turn number 12. Line astern, out of the final corner. 3 minutes to go. Strauven now has to think about where he is going to take the opportunity to get past Matej Radenkovic. But he can't do the move too early. He needs to strategize. He needs to figure out, anticipate what might happen on the next 2, 3 corners. How is the slipstream down the back straightaway? And this is how they learn their craft. This is how these drivers develop, because if they keep racing, and by goodness, these guys and girls out there in the paddock, all 129 of them that are with us here this weekend, have been chomping at the bit. And this is something that they love doing at every possible moment when there is free time in the diary. They can go out, they can go and train with friends, they can, oh, now that's a move up the inside. That is for position, and as Laurens Herboz has got past Jasper Leenaerts, but Olivier Jonker is back past for position. Gap between the top 2 now is 0.2 of a second over the line when they went over it last time out. Nando Weichselbaumer from Austria. Oh, now Jasper Leenaerts has done the... Oh, that's a brilliant move. If he pulls that off through turn 3, he's got it done. Oh, that was a great move. The move of the Minimax class this weekend. Jasper Leenaerts gets past Olivier Jonkers and Laurens Herboz through turns 2 and 3 in one fell swoop. Brilliant job by that young man. Got to know him and his father Bart over the past few months, and being in my capacity as social media manager for Team Belgium at the Grand Finals last year, really got to know him and his dad very, very well. Good to speak to Bart in both English and German because he speaks multiple languages. It's always good because then at least you can practice with other people as well. 60 seconds on the clock remaining. Strauven waiting and anticipating an opportunity which he hopes will develop before his very eyes, which are enveloped by the red mist underneath that visor. They go through turn 5. Into the right at 6. And Strauven has now been the first driver to go sub 59.7 seconds. He's just done 59.698. on that particular lap. So with the way things are going, we are fast running out of time. 21 seconds on the clock remaining. So he's got to be close enough. Close enough to have an opportunity. So if that gap presents itself, he will get a chance. However, a little bit further back in the battle for what is effectively 7th position, Olivier Jonkers has now got past Jasper Leinitz for that place. Last lap board. Who will come out on top? Strauven needs to strike when it is possible. Not to leave it to chance too late, because he won't be able to recover as they go through turn 5 into the right at 6. Now this could be the key point. Let's see how much closer Strauven gets to the back bumper of Radenkovic. He's gone up the inside. He's taken the lead at turn 7. Well-timed Thomas Strauven. But now it's one thing to get the lead. It's another thing entirely to keep it. He's now got 3 more corners to go. Strauven now gets his head down, looks over his right shoulder into turn 10. Now into the left at 11. Checkered flag being prepared. This time around, it is not Matej Radenkovic, as Thomas Strauven signs off in Minimax this weekend with a win after a last lap overtake through turn 7. Both hands in the air, celebrating in style. Matej Radenkovic takes second position. Rino Franco takes 3rd place, ahead of Nando Weichselbaumer from Austria. And Kasper Schomans rounds out the top 5, having placed exactly where he qualified. So let's have a look at the finishing order in Minimax for the last final of the day. Thomas Strauven wins by 0.3 of a second exactly over fellow countryman Matej Radenkovic in the 196 Buvin Power entry. Rino Franco from GKS Lemons Power and Nando Weichselbaumer, also from GKS Lemons Power, representing the Netherlands and Austria, as there's a bit of sportsmanship there between Kasper Schomans, who just finished in P5, representing the Netherlands. Karel Stout from PG Motorsport in 6th, ahead of Olivier Jonkers, Jasper Leinitz, Lawrence Herbols, Thiemann Huben, Tam Saleh, Mick Vandenberg, and Mathis Soubadou from France, rounding out the 13 strong. And that concludes Minimax for the opening round of the 2020 BNL Karting Series season.